foreign direct investments, FDI. How is Nigeria faring with it? How is Nigeria faring with foreign direct investments? Now, foreign direct investment is more than just figures and economic jargon. It is the real test of how attractive and stable a country is in the eyes of global investors. Now, when investors put their money into our industries, infrastructure, technology, and human capital, they don't just bring in capital, they bring jobs, innovation, and global linkages that strengthen our economy. For a nation like Nigeria, with its youthful population and vast resources, foreign direct investment is supposed to be a major driver of progress. But how are we really doing?
So now the conversation now molds and brings us up into the state of the nation right now presently. Over the years, Nigeria has seen a mix of highs and lows. At certain points, we've been hailed as Africa's investment destination of choice. But in recent years, troubling trends have emerged. Reports show declining inflows of foreign investment, with many multinational companies either divesting or shutting down operations due to insecurity, unstable policies, poor infrastructure, high operational costs, and of course the uncertainty of our foreign exchange market. The question then arises, why is Nigeria struggling to retain and attract investors? Is it just about insecurity and economic instability, or is there a deeper trust gap between the Nigerian state and the international business community? What are we missing, and what must be done to restore confidence and position Nigeria as a true investment hub on the continent? We cannot ignore the fact that other African nations, South Africa, Kenya, Rwanda, even Ghana, are actively competing for the same foreign capital. Investors today have options, and if Nigeria does not create the right environment, remember, a right enabling environment, we risk losing out on the benefits of the foreign direct investments, benefits that are desperately needed to tackle unemployment. Remember, boost infrastructure and diversify our economy beyond oil.
So this morning, as we talk about foreign direct investment, how is Nigeria faring with it? We will look at the state of play, the policy environment, the obstacles, and the opportunities. We will ask whether Nigeria is doing enough to regain investors and also to regain and maintain investor confidence, and whether reforms are translating into real economic outcomes that ordinary citizens can feel. And as always, we want to hear from you, our listeners. Do you believe Nigeria is an attractive destination for investment right now? I mean, right now? What do you think government and policymakers must do differently to improve the picture? Remember the removal of subsidy and all of that? We are asking this question. So stay with us. It promises to be an insightful and an engaging discussion right here on Let's Talk Nigeria, only on Golden 97.5 FM. Let's talk Nigeria, because when it comes to investment, the choices we make today will shape the opportunities of tomorrow. So let's get talking. We asked the questions. Do you believe Nigeria is an attractive destination for investment right now? That's the first question. And the number two question that you, the listener, will be answering is, what do you think government and policymakers must do differently to improve the picture? based on the current realities. I don't think we are going to answer the question. We might just give the background to all of this, but we would expect you to calling and answer these questions and many other questions we might be posing. But then, Paul, as I was researching and reading for this program, I bumped into what Peter Obi said, and I think it's something that I needed to share with you and with the listeners. With regards to foreign direct investments, now Peter Obi argues that leadership is becoming a problem. The leadership of the country is also contributing to the decline of foreign direct investments. And here he says that while the president, the ministers, and other government officials continue their global gallivanting in search of foreign direct investment, a lot of people are not quite comfortable with that statement, global gallivanting, okay? But I'm just quoting Peter Obi in his statement. So while they continue in their global gallivanting in search of foreign direct investment, remember the president is in Japan recently for an international conference. I mean, in Tokyo. That's also part of, wooing investors to come to Nigeria. Our poor performance, according to Peter Obi, he says, our poor performance, Nigeria's poor performance in key governance indicators, such as rule of law, regulatory quality, government effectiveness, and voice and accountability continues to prove that a country cannot attract sustainable foreign investment with poor leadership and governance. And I think I agree with Peter Obi to a very large extent.
Hey, when you think about it, the different indicators that you have to look at when you look at the foreign investment, what happens? But it's rather sad because even in 2024, the amount of money that we were able to pull in from FDI was about 1.8. It was 1.8 billion dollars. That's for 2024, but we fell so much to 2023 was 1.87 billion dollars. Then last year was 1.08 billion dollars. Then something happened, and if you look at that as compared to there's something called the trend and pair for the FDI, that means for amongst the trending amongst ourselves, but among our other peers in the African continent, let's get to see what happened. In among the peers from 2021, you see people like Egypt raking in from 2021 $46.6 billion. South Africa is brought in $2.47 billion. Ghana raked in about $1.67 billion. And Kenya, $1.50 billion. That's in 2024. But what we're able to get was $1.08 billion in 2024.
As big as Nigeria.
It is based on stats. So
very, very appalling.
Very, very appalling. So you were saying that people. So now the question is, what is Egypt doing to have raked in for the $6.6 billion? Mm-hmm. That South Africa were able to get $2.47 billion. Ghana got $1.67 billion, and even Kenya got $1.50 billion. But what happened to us? There was an 11% deficit in 2024 for us as Nigerians. So there's something about it that we have to be able to look at and say, now, these are the different, but in all of the industries you're talking about, what sector brings in more FDIs to Nigeria is the banking sector. The banking sector has to be like the getaway sector that brings in the FDIs and things. So but now we have to also look at some things, the drivers versus the drag. What are the drivers? What's our foreign exchange market reform? Is it that stable? It's not too stable. We're having issues with it, and that's why you are saying that at the moment it's there. It's not too comfortable. Now, another thing that is a drag, that is Those are drivers. If you have a foreign exchange that is effective, of course, money will come in. But for the drags now, our power cost, Nigeria. That's why many companies, we saw some industries folding up and leaving the shores because of the issue of power. Now, power cost is there. The FX2 risk is there. The customs and tax complexity that bottlenecks concern our tax reforms and everything is not too stable, because the moment they have it is stable and it is conducive for the investors, they would come and they will want to do it. Now, another thing again is insecurity. We all know where it's coming from. We all know the different dynamics of that. And as well as the policy reversals. Our policy, we're not too stable concerning policy.
When another government comes and
thank you.
Change the policies.
So this
just like that.
You know, you understand. So the boardrooms are just going from green lighting to what's going on here. The things. When you talk about the foreign direct investments, is it the long term? What we are saying most times is just the too short, just now, instantly, next 1 minute, 1 year, 6 months, 1 year afterwards. But for the long-term sustainability, you should be able to see, if you fix these things, the foreign investment will come, and it will be for the long term. That's why Egypt is having a stabilizing. That's why you're seeing $46.6 billion. It is because they were able to handle those things and do it properly.
That's right. I still have to go with what Peter Obi said. He said, according to a recent report by the National Bureau of Statistics, and I like the fact that he was able to, make reference to the National Bureau of Statistics, which is the very, very credible, source that we can work with, especially when we talk about the direct foreign investment thing. It said the FDI, the foreign direct investment to Nigeria, sharply declined by about 70% in the first quarter of 2025. Now, what you reeled out was in 2024. Brilliant. Now, falling to only $126.29 million from $421.8 million in the first quarter of 2024. Can you just imagine? 70%. So from 2024 to 2025, look at the decline. In 2024, it was $421.8 million. Now, in the first quarter of 2025 alone, from 8.2% to 2.24% in 2025, in the first quarter of 2025. Look at the sharp decline. And then he went on to state again, disturbingly, about 90% of the imported capital went into speculative money market instruments. With such a high proportion of capital importation flowing into speculative investments, the impact on industrial growth or job creation is highly insignificant and elusive, giving the ease with which such hot money can exit the economy. So you can imagine how this could happen. No way would this be possible. No way can jobs be created in a country with this kind of sharp decline. How do you expect sustainable economic growth to be, to thrive in Nigeria? Sustainable economic growth and development cannot be achieved through this kind of poor, according to him, poor leadership and weak governance. Problems that are clearly reflecting in declining the FDI and the country's poor performance in key governance indicators, like we just mentioned, the rule of law, quite a number of things, corruption, and every other thing that we earlier mentioned. These are some of the indicators making the foreign investors not to come to Nigeria.
The moment you're beginning to reel these things, like I said, let's look at the top sectors that bring in these funds in major things. We're talking about the banking, we're talking about trading, we're talking about manufacturing, and of course the top origin, it has to do with UK, coming from the UK and every other part. But the issue we're having is that we're not having these people come to what they've not been an even spread of the things. Majorly, you're having these companies do the citations in Lagos and the FCT Abuja. Because somehow, let's talk about power. You're going to be enjoying enjoying more power somewhat in Lagos and the FCT. Lagos, it helps you because that's where also don't forget the seaport airport is there. So the ease of doing anything you want to, it's quite easy for you to bring in your goods and do the things and go to working to Abuja to somewhat. There's a soft landing because it's the federal capital territory. But if you have this thing spread across, that's why people are asking that our seaports be opened. The on-air seaport, the seaport at on-air should really be that effective so that we can have a lot of things happening. Whether it's here at Calabar, all of our seaports should be opened properly. When you have these things happening, it's going to rake in a lot of funds. Then we can have conversations, the true conversations, because we need it to be healthy. If not, we're going to be seeing where this sharp decline. Let me just bring the annual FDI in Nigeria from 2019 down to 2024. 2019 we were 2.31 billion naira. 2021 it was 3.31 billion dollars rather. But 2023 1.87, 2024 1.08. So far so good.
So we're just coming down.
Are you seeing it?
Really coming down. So they are moving away. The investments are not coming. Rather, the investments are leaving. They're leaving the country.
Yes, because you already know where the bottlenecks are coming from. You already know insecurity. You're talking about your policies. You're talking about all the different things. Just solve them and create an even spread. It's all everything's just centered at Lagos, Abuja. If he wants to shake a little bit, it comes to Port Harcourt. You understand? River State. So, but we need to get it so that every region, every geopolitical zone in the country can have something somewhat that will be effective. If you handle, especially manufacturing, any manufacturing company that comes to site the office in Nigeria has to be living in. Don't want to live in Neverland or in Dreamland, because you're going to be spending huge amount of your money on power generation.
And the president also said that we have to hold him responsible, and he made a statement that if he doesn't deliver power by his first tenure, Nigerians should take a decision.
Is it the one where even the Aso Rock right now is spending to put the to install solar
10 billion naira for
solar power plant?
Aso Villa, yeah.
Do you understand what I'm talking about? It means that there is a sharp decline in our power sector.
Now, Paul, many Nigerians do not understand this. Yeah, they say the food we eat, the food we buy, money, scarce, that's what we are all battling with. But we are in a precarious situation because the capital flows to the manufacturing sector that is supposed to generate these funds declined exponentially by 32.1%, dropping to only $129.92 million in the first quarter of 2025 from $191.92 million in the same quarter of 2023. So you can imagine in 2023, $191.92 million in the first quarter, but the first quarter of this year is 129.92. Instead of Nigeria to make it better from 191.92, we should be talking about 300. That was 3 years ago. We should be talking about 300 something million or 400 something million. We are rather dropping to $129.92 million in the first quarter of 2025. It doesn't really sound good. Now, I mean, with this, there is no better confirmation of the lack of trust in Nigeria. And according to Peter Obi, he said the lack of trust in this government. Of course, he's in the opposition. Definitely, he's gonna attack the government by saying that this is happening because of the lack of trust in this government, whose reforms remain uncoordinated and largely reactive. Now, everyone is celebrating. Okonjo-Iweala came up to say that he has stabilized the economy, no doubt about that, but we need growth. But there's some other pundits, economic analysts, like Peter Obi, of course, is an economist. He would definitely say, well, this is not the case. Well, so there's a clash of understanding. A lot of people are applauding. Oh, yes, Okonjo-Iweala has said, well, the president has stabilized the economy, but all he needs now is to see how to, bring up, things that will make the economy grow. Peter Obi is saying that because of the inflow and outflow of the capital, in fact, the outflow of the capital, the foreign investors are leaving, the investments are leaving, and giving statistical analysis, deriving his data from the National Bureau of Statistics, that the first quarter of this year, we have $129.9 million in the first quarter, which is a sharp decline and is not really good for us. Now, in 2024, before you say the next point, why global FDI flows declined? The FDI, the foreign direct investment to Africa, significantly increased to $97 billion. I repeat that. To Africa, the FDI increased to $97 billion, a rise of about 75% compared to 2023. So Africa did well. Yes, there was decline in the FDI globally, but Africa did well by raking about 75% compared to 2023. So Europe, the United States, and China were the main sources of the FDI, of course. Europe, United States, China, they all invested in Africa. But look at it. Like you mentioned earlier on, Egypt attracted the highest share in Africa with $46.58 billion. Now, Ethiopia, out of this 75% compared to 2023, out of this $97 billion raked in by African countries, Egypt had the highest, 46.58. The question is, what does Egypt have that we don't have? Is it the land? Is it the mineral resources that Egypt will rake out of the 97 billion? Egypt only had 46. Now, let's move on now. Now, Ethiopia had 3.98 billion. Cote d'Ivoire, someone will say ordinary Cote d'Ivoire had $3.80 billion out of the 97. Mozambique, another person will say ordinary Mozambique had 3.55 billion. Uganda, $3.30 billion. Democratic Republic of Congo, $3.11 billion. South Africa, $2.47 billion. Namibia, $2.06 billion. Senegal, $2.02 billion. Guinea, $1.83 billion. Morocco, $1.64 billion. And guess what? Our dear nation, Nigeria, the so-called giant of Africa, received only $1.08 billion, about 1% of Africa's total foreign direct investment. Paul, this is appalling.
Okay, let me just let you know that even the money in Nigeria's case, the first quarter of 2025, capital importation reports show that over 92% of inflow were portfolio investments, that is hot money, and only 2.4% was true FDI.
2.4.
Only 2.4%. That is the $126 million that you talked about. That is, according to the stats, is real FDI. The other money that came into the country, that is the other monies that came into the country, were hot money. Let me explain to you what hot money refers to: short-term capital inflows.
Just short-term.
Short-term capital inflows.
But what we need is the long-term.
That's what I'm see. So this is so sometimes when they say we've gotten investment,
money coming in the country.
So these are foreign funds that move quickly in and out of a country's financial market to take advantage of the following: high interest rates.
Now you see.
Example, buying Nigerian treasury bills or bonds. You're seeing these things. Currency arbitrage. Profiting from exchange rate changes.
So when the exchange rate goes up a little bit, they come in, rake the money, and go out.
So that's what they call hot money.
So when we hear government officials come to the media and say, "Oh yeah, Nigeria is doing well, pretty well with foreign direct," that's because of this hot money.
It is called hot because it enters quickly when conditions are attractive and leaves just as quickly when risks rise, like devaluation fears, inflation, or political instability. It moves away.
So that means this foreign investment, it's short term because these people are not coming to establish industries or manufacturing companies here in Nigeria for these companies to remain and employ our people. Rather, they're just coming, putting something and leave just immediately. And that's why jobs are not created.
That is why. See, that's why I say in everything, there are the 3 Ps. There are 3 Ps that we have to look at. That is the power, the ports, and the policy certainty. these three things, these are like the three bottlenecks. What's the power situation? What are the port situation? And what are the policies concerning tax reform? Every other thing. Those are the things that the investors are going to be looking at. Is it? That's why Egypt is having a freeway.
Because we don't have just one port in Egypt.
Do you
But a number of
understand?
others, yeah.
So
They're
it's
looking at different
there,
things.
It's there.
Tourism is there as well.
If you understand, at the time where Peter Obi at the time one time said he went to Egypt to go and Egypt to go and understand the power.
The power.
Are you understanding the thing? He said he went to go and do a study, and why? Because you need to understand these things that investors will not come. Those are, you already see that there are opportunities. See, and how can states like Lagos and Federal Capital help other states become credible FDI destinations? Because it's not going to be only just Lagos and FCT. If Nigeria wants to do well, we have to wait to open the up, because the moment there are opportunities and it pops open. Whatever happened to the TINEPA conversation? It was supposed to be a free trade zone, isn't it? That was the idea. That was the idea for TINEPA. We have a free trade zone. In those things you are bringing, investors are coming. It's a free trade zone. We can have those conversations even for the African continent. People can come do trade, do business, and we'll get the money real time. But what are we looking at? We have just settled down, just being very quiet about it, and most people are not waiting for the federal allocation. Sit down, look now. The South 13% derivation. It's okay for us. But if you open this hub, see, imagine if Bayelsa as a state. Imagine if Bayelsa had our ports effective, I think very effective, and in usage. Do you know the activities that will be transverse in this place?
I totally agree with you, Paul. But let's having a port in Bayelsa is a long talk. Let's talk about the Port Harcourt.
Port Harcourt, Calabar.
If Port Harcourt if Port Harcourt were working very well, you know what that means.
See, those are
what that means. Bayelsa is a long thing, not a long thing.
Brother, see, don't see the issue is if everything is happening only in Lagos and the FCT, Nigeria, there's a lot to unbox in this thing. That's why we cannot be. It's not every time we're pursuing hot money. Just imagine, do not pay for it is for the first quarter of 2025. It's only $126 million we're able to rake in. That no wonder. As throughout last year, everything we did last year, foreign direct investment was 1.08 billion. Now in the first quarter you're having 126. How far can we go to meet up even can we meet up the threshold of 1 billion?
No way.
So until we tackle we have to unbundle this thing. Unbundling this thing will help us out.
It's crazy. Let's hear from our listeners. I think we've talked extensively, and I guess we have educated the public on the situation, especially statistics, because we work with statistics, because we can't have this conversation intelligently without reeling out the statistics, and that's exactly what we have done. But the question now is to you, the listeners. Do you believe Nigeria is an attractive destination for investment right now? What do you think government and policy makers must do differently to improve the picture? Because I must tell you, it is not good at all. The first quarter of this year, 2025, we performed poorly, abysmally. And what do you think we should do right now? Let's hear from you. 0707 747 1522 0912 0001975. You can text us if you can call the number 0805 3277767. Let's hear from you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Collins. I'm calling from Apollo.
Collins, thanks for joining us.
Go ahead.
For a businessman to have a business plan, very fantastic business plan, the audience, who will be your customers? That is location. How can you only plan a business and think of coming to Nigeria? Security issues are there. You don't need to go to the gallivanting issue is very correct. You don't need to go to anybody. You just need to make your environment juicy for people to come. People are killing people and you want to go there to do business? How? In Amarata, people are shooting now. Are you telling me if you have a brother or sister that want to start a business, you tell them to go to Amarata to start that business? That is our problem. You go to a place where the judiciary would be one-sided, and that whatever happened, the laws are not applicable to everybody. The laws are only for the senior people. That is our problem, and nobody can come. Okay, for the past 4-5 years.
Yeah, my name is Owe. I'm calling from Sabagir.
Wait, thanks for joining us. Yeah.
I've been listening to this interesting conversation concerning our state, Nigeria. Just like the first caller said, let me add more of it to you. You, an investor, just like you have a business, if you make your business attractive, you see your customers will be. You don't need to go outside to go and look for them. As they are passing, they are seeing the attractive of your business. They will come in and buy from you. That is how business run in this world. Where people will go out and they are looking for investors. You don't have light, no NEPA. Then you expect an investor to come and buy diesel, import generator, whatever. No big ship, no business. These ships are owned by private people. They will tell you don't go to social port in social country. Because the old Warri port, as you see there, is from Extravos, which is by the sea. Because of politics, they want to build port. They will build port in the interland. Then you expect businessmen all this there, the ships to business to carry their things to your interland. No, it's never done anywhere in the world at all. Bayelsa, if we want Bayelsa, if we let's take politics apart. If Bayelsa want to build seaport or Nigeria want to build seaport in Bayelsa, please go to Akasa. Akasa is by the sea. That is where you see the investors will be passing through there. But you say you want to carry seaport, Konyonegwa. You want to carry seaport to go to Brass or Nimbe. Sorry, that's the waste of funds. Just like we have wasted the fund in our airport. Our airport is not buying. It's a waste to me. Would have been built that money used in the airport, would have been built bridges and roads in this state before now. I think that is okay. So that seems like investors will come to this country with the situation in this country. We are talking of Egypt. I want to compare Egypt to Nigeria. We are not able to say we are giants of which. How do we be the giants in the Africa? You see, we want to count the least developed countries. Nigeria, I can say, is at the back. Nigeria is not developed, and we are saying we are giants of Africa. You want to compare Egypt to Nigeria, and you want to compare South Africa to Nigeria. See Ethiopia, you have read it out. See this is what they are raising. Look at our 1 point something. So what are we saying? So our leaders, and one more over corruption. The white man will never hear a country that is corrupt that they want to go and invest in that country. Nothing is working in this country, both security-wise, everything. So let me have other people to comment. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Owe, for your contribution this morning. Quite interesting, very interesting.
I want to painstakingly read this, but it is with a lot of regard and honor to listen. But we'll have a call. Let's take this call now.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I want to comment on
your name, please.
Thank you for. My name is Chiboy. I'm calling you from Oporo now.
Okay, Chiboy, please go ahead.
Thank you for your submission, the topic. I really appreciate you guys. I really appreciate you. We in Nigeria have a lot of issues. We have many issues. Number one thing, and the one thing that's driving investment of the way is insecurity. Nobody can invest in a way there is no security. Okay, let's assume now, for example, now, I remember the time where I came to my town. I was a serious farmer before I come to this town. But one of the things that pushed me that made me to go this time because of insecurity. I said honestly, one of the things that pushed me to go because of insecurity. In the time when you farm, You see, couple with the process, whereas we every day. That is number one thing. You understand? If you give me if you share your place that you got a care, can't go there. You can't invest your money there. So that's what I just go there like this. So I'll have to come.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. He kept it very, very short and quite interesting as well. Yeah, reel out that thing you want to reel out.
See, it's okay. I just want to reel out these things. So this is Nigeria compared to Egypt. The different things that make it possible. Okay, so far so good. Egypt, based on inflows, Egypt made 46.6 billion, largest in Africa. And within this, and what are the areas, the sectors that are attracting this? Is oil and gas, renewables, and also real estate, ICT, startups, tourism, infrastructure. Nigeria, the major things that we're having is banking, trading, and manufacturing. Oil and gas, but often underperforming due to underinvestment.
Underinvestment, but we have more oil than Egypt.
Do you understand?
We have more oil than Egypt.
Are you getting
underinvestment?
Underinvestment.
Good.
Now, another thing again is that Egypt. Let's look at energy and power. Energy and power. They've achieved electricity surplus since 2018. Exporting energy become the major gas hub. As in the major gas hub is Zohr Field. But Nigeria, persistent power deficit. Average generation, it is just below the standard.
Thanks, Paul. But let's take this call. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Steve Moye and Paul Bassa.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
My name is Felix Ndikura. I'm calling from Warri.
Okay, sir.
You see, today, let me tell you, Paul Bassa, if you go and build a house in a very remote area, that house is equipped with electricity. There is good access road. There is water. There is security. You will not look for tenants to come and rent that house. Tenants will look for you, the landlord, who owns that house and want to rent it. So the issue of Nigerian politicians going to abroad to shop for investors to come to Nigeria and invest is all lie and fallacy. They are only going there to put our money in the various bank accounts.
Felix,
they are not going there to
Felix, hold on a thought.
Any investor to come to Nigeria. Why they know that the country they
hello, Felix. Hold on. We want to go for a commercial break. Felix,
security.
We're going for a commercial break. We'll be back shortly. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Which investor will come to Nigeria?
5 FM has got the perfect solution for you.
You can locate our radio house at Mike Okpokpo Street, Bansha, Yenagua, Bayelsa States. Whether it's your business, music, event, or special promo, Golden FM has got you covered. So hurry now and let's put your brand in the spotlight.
Are you looking for a great car rental service in Yenagoa City of Bayelsa State? Experience the best with AB Mercantile. Premium cars for corporate ride, reliable rides for travels, economy option for daily drive. At AB Mercantile Limited, we offer a range of services. We pride ourselves as being the first resident car rental service provider in Bayelsa State. We offer daily rental services, event car rental services, pickups and drop-offs, escort security services, driver services, vehicle leasing, fleet management for businesses. Mark your calendar. AB Mercantile Limited is launching on Wednesday, 10 September 2025. Visit us at Grace Pearl Plaza, first floor, Opolo Market Road, Yenagoa, Bayelsa State. We are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday to Saturday. Book online at abmercantilelimited.com or call us at 070-749-7212 or email us at info@abmercantilelimited for more information. AB Mercantile Limited, your ride's destiny.
Shining brighter than ever. 97.5 FM, the gold standard of radio.
All right, so we're back to Let's Talk Nigeria. Apologies to Felix, who called all the way from Warri. You know, we had to cut you short to go for that commercial break. But you can call back now and conclude your thought. We do appreciate that. The numbers are 0707 747 1522, 0912 000 1975. You can text us on 0805 32777767. You can call us on WhatsApp. You call us also. You send a text message on WhatsApp as well. We appreciate that. The topic is still foreign direct investment. How is Nigeria faring with it? We've discussed extensively comparing Nigeria with other nations and Egypt, for instance. We're going to talk more, but let's take this call.
Okay, Alison, please go ahead.
Yes, you see, actually, what we want to talk about investment in Nigeria. If you trace back from the time of Goodluck Jonathan, as soon as he left office, because when during the time of Goodluck Jonathan, we were one of the topmost economy in Africa, specifically. But when Goodluck left office and General Buhari and other persons came, they bastardized the economy of this country. So for you to put back, for you to say you want to go to foreign land to go and woo investors, now the investors would like to know, what are your tax reforms? What have you put in place? Do you have power? Do you have security? It's not the investors will not come in a place where they will hear bandits or Boko Haram or terrorists or herdsmen have been able to kidnap 500 people and take them from one point down into forest of foreign investors has been kidnapped. They will not come to such places. So as one somebody said, if you hear this, we're going to say they are going to foreign land to woo investors. They are only thinking of how to convert our hard currencies to foreign currencies to stock them somewhere. They are just deceiving us. So the only thing for we to gain back our position as one of the topmost economy is to put security, put power, the energy sector, our tax, they should be reformed. And when all these things are put on ground, you will not go away anybody. People see they will come. You just need to attract them. So this is my view. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alison.
We appreciate you. Yeah. Yes. Let's continue with that, analysis or, the data you're trying to roll out with Egypt.
Yeah. So we talked about the strategic location and trade assets. They also have aggressive economic reforms. Currency devaluations happened in 2016, 2020, 2024.
I saw that as well.
Yeah, to correct imbalances and everything. So you're seeing that happen. And the government have led the FDI promotion themselves. There's Egypt Vision 2030 and Egypt Sovereign Fund actively caught investors in energy, infrastructure, tourism, ICT, and real estate.
Yeah, that's true. Hello. We lost that again. Sorry. Call back and contribute. Please don't worry. The network is pretty terrible, the spirit. But then a lot of callers also on the line. Let's try this one. Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning,
I still remain Perry.
Yeah, Perry.
Talking from Erota.
Perry, thanks for joining us again.
Yeah, another interesting topic again. But I think the first thing is just power. If you look at it holistically, you and I, we know very well that it's power that will drive this whole called investment and whatever I want to do. In fact, for even me and you need a radio station to start with. Do you know how much you guys spend on diesel for just a day? Not to talk of foreigners coming in to establish, to open factories. Just your radio, that's small radio. How much you people spend on diesel? That is one person we have to access. We have to, they say, the man will keep your house clean. Like people, they like, children, they like come out, come the house complete. We have to be holistic when it comes to things like this. If we do the right things, we don't need to go and lobby for investors like the politicians will tell us they're traveling to look, those are all fallacies. We should do the right things, and the right things will come. It's as simple as ABC. The first thing is just power. Even me and you as the person, power. Just give us the power. If it's inside that power, it will be like a tree where carry branches. Different things will follow. Your water, we will not be spending water on Apoki, spending money on Apoki to Merua to buy water, and the rest, the small business will start. Let's charity begins at home. Let's just start with power first. Let's see what will happen. And just the rest will be a story. Thank you. I will rest my case this morning.
Thank you, Perry.
Thank you, Perry.
Well, Nigeria is very rich, but compared to Egypt, for instance, we're using the Egypt example because we try to go for the biggest in the pack. We don't want to compare ourselves with South Africa. Egypt is making a lot of money, so let's look at what Egypt is doing and see what we can do and even do better than Egypt. But after this call, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, Paul Besser. Good morning, Moy.
Good morning to you.
Thanks for joining us.
My name this morning is still left, right, center, Honorable PP Palliative, Job Local.
Thanks for joining us. Maybe your name will change tomorrow. Say this morning.
It's possible. It's very possible. We are in Nigeria.
Okay.
If I am to come put my money into any business, I would definitely look at where I will have issues with in that business, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Same way, if you're investing in the country, can I make my money in this country? One thing most investors will want to look at is your judiciary system. If I eventually run into trouble or I have issues in that country, can the judiciary system give me justice? We see that the government in Nigeria don't obey this, they don't obey law, they don't obey. Who court orders are not being obeyed. So if I can come to your country and invest, knowing that if I have issues with the government, or the government has issues with me, and I go to court and I will get justice, or I know that I will not get justice, do you think I want to come and put my money there? Because we don't think it's about right, it's not about power, it's not just power alone. You have so many things that investors look at. Even how your election take place, they are also looking at that one. How you conduct your election, whether you are free or whether you do it free and fair. Your road connection, if I'm an investor, I want to expand my business. Okay, I'm manufacturing maybe this and that in Bayelsa, and I want to have another, I want to be moving it from here to Port Harcourt. How long will it take me to get your road infrastructure? I was looking at that one. And we are not even looking at ways to make sure that all these things are getting in place. Look at the insecurity, you talk of power, you talk of the road infrastructure, the judiciary system, everything, nothing is working, and you want investors to bring their money here. The ones you have here already, they are leaving because they see that nothing is happening here. Okay, now we are able to complaining about network. Network is even an issue here in this country. So we are not serious yet. When we're serious, we will know. Thank you, and chop knuckle.
Thank you very much, and that's going to be the last call. Thank you for your intelligent contribution. This is the problem. We have already said it in concluding this conversation. Nigeria is blessed, but just like Peter Obi and any other person will say, and of course our guest yesterday as well, leadership is the problem. Look at Egypt, offers investment openings across multiple growing sectors. One, energy, as you mentioned, natural gas, the Zohr field, renewables, wind, solar. Now they have agriculture and food processing, tourism and hospitality, manufacturing and automotive, ICT and digital transformation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different sectors. Foreign investors can come invest in manufacturing and automotive, establish tourism and hospitality business there, ICT and digital transformation. You see, money is raking. And then, of course, when these guys come and invest, taxes will be generated. You pay taxes, right, to the government, right? Agriculture and food processing. A company comes, establishes an agricultural, firm or something like a manufacturing firm. They will be there and they will establish their business and you make money. It is really, really crazy living in Nigeria.
Okay.
In your own as concluding way,
In my own concluding way, I just want us to our leaders are going to be the main drivers of any change or development that we really need and deserve, and so we have to bring people-centric policies. I don't want to shake tables, but I just want to make mention of a particular case where, in bringing the coastal road construction, there was a particular company that was removed from Lagos, and after all of the investment that they've done, it was a huge. It was Nigerian-owned company, and right now, because of that, which they destroyed his investment and everything, and so right now he's taking his investment
to Ghana.
He's taking it outside of the country, going to Ghana, going to Kenya.
Ghana.
See, this is what we've done to our own. So imagine if our own understands the policies and see these things and it feels cheated and all the different things goes. Just make people set the policies, make it friendly, and people will come. Nigeria will be built by Nigerians. End of discussion.
End of discussion. Thank you very much, every one of you who contributed to this conversation. We knew it was going to be interesting because it has to do with Nigeria. Foreign direct investment. How is Nigeria faring? From all we have said, Nigeria is not very well. And from the statistics, even from the National Bureau of Statistics, we have confirmed that Nigeria is not doing well. And I guess the listeners and the leaders are listening. State governments, the federal government. Of course, Golden FM is listened to all over the world because we are on the internet, on social media. You can also listen to us wherever you are in the world via Radio Garden and even Zeno FM, So it's been listened to everywhere. And I believe that they are listening to this program at this moment. We appreciate every one of you for your contribution. Tomorrow we'll be back with another edition of Let's Talk Nigeria. I am Moyo Steven.
And I am Paul Oblomugbasa.
Please stay tuned for the news update at 10.